Alright guys, the day is finally here. The windmill has showed up. Paul from Paul's Windmill and Crane Service out in Illinois drove down, brought the windmill with him, and we have already built the tower. We're going to drill holes in the morning, auger holes for the legs in the ground, and then Crane will be in here to pick the crane up, and he's already built the fan. This is an Aermotor windmill from the 1930s. It was on a farm in Elswood, Nebraska, and Paul got it taken down and brought it in here, and he completely went through it. I'll show you a photo of everything underneath the hat there, where he went through all the gears and all the journals and races and everything. And these are the sucker rods here, and that's the actual well pump, and then there's the tower. Paul's been in the windmill business for over 30 years, 40 years, something like that, and this is all he does, so he knows these things inside and out. It's a model A702, which was the staple of windmills back in the day, and Aermotor was the brand that you wanted to go with. The tower is a 33-foot tower, and we've already erected it. See all these square bolts here, and somewhere on here it says Elswood, Nebraska, right there. It's hard to see it, but on that one it says G.H. Smith, Elswood, Nebraska. We don't know if Smith was the customer, or if Smith was the hardware store, or what. But it's erect. The straps are keeping it square. All the nuts are tight. Now we're going to put the brake handle on and the brake cable. We've already put the Y-dash work platform on there. We'll get this stood up tomorrow. You guys remember the well. I cut it off. Remember, it had a 2-foot tall pipe, and I cut it off, painted it silver. We'll auger those holes in tomorrow around it, and then front gate's out there, so you'll be able to see it when you're driving down the road. Alright, so the ash pump rod is in the center there. It will actually go up and down, and it is connected to the top up here, and it will go up and down and make that small rod right there at the very top go up and down. These stays right here, these are called guide sways or guide, I've forgotten the name of these things, I'll tell you in a minute. But those are replacements because they the others were so rotted and corroded, so he had to put new ones, but they're exact replacements of the originals. Swing stays is what they're called. And then the brake is right here. You see, and it makes that go up and down. And then the brake cable goes all the way down. It's not completely attached yet, but it goes all the way down to this brake handle right here. So when it's operational, it'll be in this position. And then when you put the brake on to stop it, it'll be in this position down here. That doesn't get fully adjusted until the windmill is up and set. And then you see the pump rod there coming right down the center of it. And it is actually going to be attached to here, to this little pony rod. That little pony rod will go into these different pipes, go into that little pipe, then that T, and then that little pipe, and then that will connect into the 40-foot pump rods. That T will be the discharge where the water will be coming out, going into the well, or I'm sorry, going into the water trough. And then that is the well cap. That's going to go on the top of the well right there. And then that is the actual pump. And this is the foot here, and there's a check valve in here, and then there's a check valve in there. That'll be down in the bottom at 40 feet. So, or not down in the bottom, but it will be 40 feet down into the well. So, ladder comes all the way up this leg right here. Platform is tapered in the corner right there, so you can get up on it. And you'll be standing 33 feet up in the air on this little platform right here. That ought to be pretty exciting when you need to get up there and service the windmill. So we're going to be about 38 feet total. So we'll be back and get this thing drilled. These 4 red marks here designate where our holes are going to go. And we'll get to boring those and wait on the crane. So all the holes are augered in. I didn't video any of that because you guys seen me auger holes before. 18 inches in diameter. They're 4 feet deep. Concrete paver down in the bottom. And then the leg is on there. These are the same legs that they used 100 years ago. We put a piece of angle iron across the top of those and then put a level on it. We use that as our standard and then shot off of all these others to make them all the same height as that one there. So now when we stand the windmill up, it'll be perfectly level. We'll concrete these holes after the windmill gets stood up, not before, because we need the wiggle room to get everything adjusted. We don't want to concrete them in and then be off 2 inches, 3 inches. The crane will pick up the pump rods first, put those in, then he'll pick the tower up, and then the third and last lift will be picking the head / fan up. These things right here are called swing guides. I told you I'd tell you what they were called. See, as that pump rod goes up and down, those swing guides support it. That's 1.5 pipe right there. About 0.2 of a gallon per stroke. The wind is barely blowing, and that's how much is coming out. So here's the information on Paul's Windmill and Crane Service out of Illinois. You guys want a windmill?